If you click on this video, it wasn't by chance, because nothing this Saturn ever is. I'm Mariana, and today we are going to break down top 5 myths about Saturn return. Whether you are approaching your 29-year-old age or looking for the second Saturn return, this video is for you. And if, like me, you are on the journey of learning astrology, watch until the end and you understand the true nature of Saturn, why it's dangerous for someone but is blessing for others.
It's way more fun on Talks by the Stars.
Number 1 in our list is the myth that Saturn always carries negativity. This is not true. I have seen charts where Saturn brought tragic losses, yes. But I have also seen it bring true Saturn return gift. Here's the truth. The 29-year-old Saturn return is usually difficult because it's our first real test of maturity. But the second Saturn return astrology teaches us that the next one, at 59 or 60, can be completely calm if you done the work. It is crucial to look how to read Saturn return chart data specifically for you. For example, I saw a woman whose Saturn had difficult aspects to her 7th house, relationship. She lived a lifestyle that disrespected her partnership, and Saturn brought a loss of her husband. Conversely, I saw a man where Saturn ruled his career house. He was diligent and responsible, and his Saturn return finally gave him a huge promotion. You must look at the whole picture before being afraid. Myth number 2. The return of Saturn is the most terrible period in a person's life. Have you heard this? It is false. In the birth chart of every person, the events of life are already laid down. Often, when people suffer, it is because other slow-moving planets, not just Saturn, are hitting sensitive points in the chart at the same time. It is rare that a return itself causes a tragedy. You have to look the whole picture. But if you ever heard about Sati Sati in the Vedic astrology, yes, it's a really intense time because its duration is about 7.5 years. That's why how to survive Saturn return depends on your mindset. It is an intense period, yes, but far from the only one. By the way, if you want to deep dive on Saturn transit in every houses or Sati Sati, let me know in the comments. Myth number 3. It will change your entire life. Many fear your life change after your Saturn return, thinking you will lose everything. Usually, Saturn focuses on specific areas. Here's a variation for a clear example. For one woman, Saturn ruled her 9, 10, and 11 houses. When the Saturn return after effects hit, a war began in her country. She moved, changed jobs, and changed her environment completely. In a second example, for another woman, Saturn ruled her 3rd house, communication. She was isolated during pandemic, but she used that time to study astrology. This Saturn return experience gave her a new future vector, but it didn't destroy her whole life. It changes the path, not the soul. Myth number 4. You can't understand Saturn before you go through it. My first teacher always said, do not give advice on how to survive someone until they live out their first Saturn return on their own. To my viewers on their 20s, I know you are smart. But until you pass the Saturn return 29 years old, you still have rose-colored glasses. Your naivety prevents you from objectively assessing what happens when you go through it. For instance, I warned one woman that Saturn, ruler of her 5th and 6th houses, can bring trouble about children and work. She took it lightly. The results? Issues with abortive pregnancy and job loss. To my viewers over 60, you know exactly what I mean. Experience the only teacher that Saturn respects. Myth number 5. I can't fight Saturn with bravery. This is the biggest trap. Saturn is a planet of service. It punishes egos. This is why Saturn is Aries or Leo placement often struggles the most. If you are asking, what I'm supposed to do during my Saturn return in Aries? The answer is surrender your pride. Astrology, sometimes called Saturn in Aries or Leo, is fall or evil position because this sign radiates self-confidence, which Saturn wants to test. But here's the good news. During the second Saturn return in Aries, if you have lived an honest life, nothing threatens you. But for the first ones, you must learn humility. So, when is going to be easy during Saturn return? When you learn to serve. Saturn return lessons are simple. Look where you've been selfish. Let a simple, responsible life. Think about others. Work not for the results, but for the benefits of all. Like this video, I created this for your benefit. If this deep dive video was useful, please subscribe. Let's create a common Saturnian benefit together so we never have to fear the stars. Follow Talk by the Stars and let's keep growing together.
It's way more fun on Talks by the Stars.